My wife left me for her boss after 12 years of marriage. When their new business fails, she wants to come home for the kids. My response leaves her stunned. I never thought I'd be sharing my story on Reddit, but here I am. I'm Aaron, 37M, and I've been married to Donna, 35F, for 12 years. We have 2 kids, Max, 10M, and Debbie, 7F. Donna and I met in college. We were both English majors with dreams of becoming writers. We bonded over our shared love of classic literature. After graduation, we moved to a small apartment in the city. I landed a job at a publishing house, while Donna worked as a copywriter for a local advertising agency. We were young, in love, and excited about our future together. We got married 2 years later in a small ceremony in Donna's parents' backyard. It was a perfect day, the sun was shining, our friends and family were there, and Donna looked beautiful in her simple white dress. When Max was born, we decided that Donna would stay home with him. It was a tough decision, but we both felt it was important for one of us to be there full-time during those early years. Debbie came along 3 years later, and our little family felt complete. I worked hard at the publishing house, gradually moving up from assistant editor to senior editor. The hours were long, but I loved my job. Donna seemed content at home with the kids, always busy with playdates, school activities, and her book club. Our marriage wasn't perfect, but I thought we were happy. We had our routines, family game nights on Fridays, lazy Sunday mornings with pancakes and cartoons, date nights when my parents could babysit. We talked about our days, shared our dreams, and supported each other through the ups and downs of life. That is, until about 8 months ago when things started to change. It all began when Donna got a new job at a marketing firm. She had been talking about going back to work for a while, feeling restless at home now that both kids were in school full-time. I was supportive of the idea. I knew she missed the creative challenges of her old job. When she landed the position at Stellar Marketing, she was over the moon. It was a junior copywriter role, but she saw it as a foot in the door. She was excited about the opportunity, and I was genuinely happy for her. We agreed that I'd take on more responsibilities at home to support her career move. At first, everything seemed fine. Donna was energized by her new role, coming home with stories about client meetings and brainstorming sessions. The kids were adjusting well to the changes in our routine. I started doing more of the school drop-offs and pickups, and we hired a part-time housekeeper to help with cleaning. But then, little by little, I started noticing shifts in Donna's behavior. She began staying late at work more often, sometimes not coming home until after the kids were in bed. When I asked about it, she'd brush it off, saying she was working on important projects or attending client dinners. Then came the constant complaints about me. Suddenly, nothing I did was good enough. If I cooked dinner, she'd criticize the meal. If I helped the kids with homework, she'd question my methods. It felt like I was walking on eggshells in my own home. One incident stands out in my mind. It was a Tuesday evening, and I had picked up the kids from their after-school activities. Max had a math test the next day, so I was helping him study while Debbie worked on an art project. Donna came home later than usual, looking stressed. "What's for dinner?" she asked, frowning as she looked around the kitchen. "I made spaghetti," I replied. "It's keeping warm in the oven," she sighed heavily. "Spaghetti again? We just had that last week." "The kids like it," I said, trying to keep my voice even. "And it was quick to make between homework and Debbie's art project." "Well, maybe if you plan better, we could have more variety," she snapped. I was taken aback. This wasn't like Donna at all. She used to appreciate my efforts to keep things running smoothly at home. Now, it seemed like everything I did was wrong. The tension continued to build over the next few weeks. Donna was spending more and more time at work, and when she was home, she was distant and irritable. I tried to talk to her about it, but she would always deflect, saying she was just stressed about work. One Saturday morning, about 3 months into her new job, Donna announced she was going on a weekend work retreat. It seemed odd, she hadn't mentioned it before, and it was last minute. But I didn't want to be unsupportive, so I told her to have a good time. That weekend, while the kids were at my parents' place, I decided to clean out our shared home office. As I was organizing some paperwork, I found a hotel receipt tucked away in one of Donna's folders. The dates matched her supposed work retreat, but the hotel was in a nearby city, not the out-of-state location she had mentioned. My gut twisted. I knew something was off, but I didn't want to jump to conclusions. When Donna returned on Sunday evening, I casually asked how the retreat went. She launched into a detailed story about team-building exercises and strategy sessions. I listened, feeling sick as I realized she was lying straight to my face. The next day, while Donna was at work, I did something I'm not proud of. I checked her phone records. There were dozens of calls and texts to a number I didn't recognize, often late at night or on weekends. I Googled the number, and my world shattered. It belonged to Alex, 40M, Donna's boss at the marketing firm. I spent the rest of the day in a daze, trying to process what I had discovered. I picked up the kids from school on autopilot, helping them with homework and making dinner without really being present. My mind was racing, replaying every late night at the office, every work event, every time she had been distant or irritable. I confronted Donna that evening after the kids were in bed. At first, she denied everything, but when I mentioned the hotel receipt and phone records, she broke down. She admitted to having an affair with Alex for the past 2 months. She claimed it just happened, that she never meant to hurt me, but that Alex understood her in ways I never could. "He makes me feel alive, Aaron," she said, tears streaming down her face. "I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore." I was devastated. 12 years of marriage, 2 beautiful kids, and countless memories, all tarnished by her betrayal. I asked her to leave that night. She protested, saying we should think of the children, but I couldn't bear to look at her. I told her she could stay with her sister until we figured things out. The next few weeks were a blur. I took some time off work to be with the kids, trying to maintain some sense of normalcy for them. Donna would call or text daily, alternating between apologizing and accusing me of overreacting. She even suggested we try couples counseling, but I couldn't imagine sitting in a room, talking about our feelings while the image of her with another man haunted me. I've consulted a lawyer and I'm planning to file for divorce. I know it won't be easy, especially with the kids involved, but I can't stay in a marriage without trust. Donna keeps insisting it was a mistake, that she wants to work things out, but I don't think I can ever look at her the same way again. Am I making the right decision? Should I consider giving her another chance for the sake of our children? Or am I justified in wanting to end this marriage? Any advice would be appreciated. Update 1. It's been about 2 months since my last post, and a lot has happened. First, I want to thank everyone for their support and advice. It really helped me navigate through some tough decisions. I did file for divorce, as many of you suggested. The day I handed Donna the papers was one of the hardest of my life. We were in our kitchen, the same kitchen where we'd shared countless family meals, where we'd celebrated birthdays and holidays, where we'd had late-night talks over cups of tea. Now, it felt like a battlefield. Donna didn't take it well. She alternated between begging me to reconsider and lashing out in anger. There were a few particularly nasty arguments where she accused me of throwing away our family over one mistake. But I stood my ground, reminding her that her affair wasn't just one mistake, it was a series of deliberate choices she made over months. The kids have been struggling with the changes. Max, being older, seems to understand more of what's happening. He's been acting out at school, and his grades have slipped. Last week, I got a call from his teacher saying he'd gotten into a fight with another boy who had made a comment about his broken family. It broke my heart to see him hurting like that. Debbie, on the other hand, keeps asking when mommy is coming home. She doesn't fully grasp the concept of divorce yet. The other day, she asked me if mommy didn't love us anymore. I had to fight back tears as I explained that mommy still loves her very much, but that sometimes grown-ups have problems that mean they can't live together anymore. About 3 weeks ago, I got an unexpected call from Alex's wife, Karen, 38F. Apparently, she had discovered the affair around the same time I did, but Alex had convinced her it was over. She reached out because she found out Alex was still seeing Donna. We met for coffee at a small cafe near my office. It was oddly comforting to talk to someone who understood exactly what I was going through. Karen and I shared our stories over steaming mugs of coffee. She told me about how she and Alex had been high school sweethearts, how they'd built their life together over 20 years of marriage. She spoke about the shock of discovering the affair, the pain of betrayal, and the struggle to keep it together for their teenage daughter. Then Karen told me something that made my blood boil. According to her, this wasn't the first time Alex had an affair with a subordinate. He had a history of pursuing newly hired women at the firm, using his position of power to manipulate them. She even mentioned that there had been a hushed-up harassment complaint a few years back. I left that coffee shop with my head spinning. I couldn't believe that Donna had fallen for someone like that. The Donna I knew, or thought I knew, would never have been okay with that kind of behavior. Armed with this information, I confronted Donna. We met at a park near our house, neutral territory. I thought she'd be shocked or upset to learn she wasn't special, just another notch on Alex's belt. Instead, she got defensive, accusing me of trying to sabotage her relationship with Alex. She actually said, "At least he appreciates me." That conversation was the final nail in the coffin of any lingering doubts I had about the divorce. I realized Donna wasn't the woman I married anymore. The person I loved and built a life with wouldn't have said those hurtful things or continued to prioritize her affair over our family. On a more positive note, I've started attending a support group for divorced and separated parents. It meets every Wednesday evening at a community center downtown. It's been incredibly helpful to connect with others who are navigating similar challenges. There's a guy there, Tom, whose story is eerily similar to mine. We've started grabbing a beer after the meetings sometimes, just to talk. Through the group, I've also started working with a child psychologist to help Max and Debbie cope with the changes in our family. Dr. Martinez is wonderful with the kids. She's been giving me strategies to help them express their feelings and adjust to our new normal. As for the divorce proceedings, things are moving forward. We're currently negotiating custody arrangements and division of assets. Donna initially wanted full custody, claiming that as their mother, she should be the primary caregiver. But given her ongoing affair and the instability it's caused, my lawyer thinks we have a strong case for at least 50-50 custody, if not primary custody for me. I'm trying to stay focused on what's best for the kids. It's not easy, especially when Donna tries to use them as pawns in our conflicts. Last week, she told Max that Daddy was trying to take them away from her. I had to sit down with both kids and explain, in age-appropriate terms, that both Mommy and Daddy love them very much, and that the changes in our family aren't their fault. Work has been a welcome distraction. My boss, Janet, has been understanding about my situation, allowing me flexible hours to attend lawyer meetings and therapy sessions with the kids. My coworkers have been supportive too. Last month, when I had to leave suddenly because Debbie was sick at school, my team stepped up to cover for me without hesitation. Looking ahead, I know there will be more challenges. The holidays are coming up, and I'm dreading the conversations about who gets the kids for Thanksgiving and Christmas. But I'm committed to co-parenting as best we can, even if Donna isn't always cooperative. I'll keep you all updated as things progress. Again, thank you for your support and advice. It means more than you know. Update 2. Hello everyone. It's been about 4 months since my last update, and I wanted to share some significant developments in my situation. First, the divorce is final. It was a long and often contentious process, but it's done. In the end, we agreed on 50-50 custody of the kids. It's not ideal, especially given Donna's ongoing relationship with Alex, but my lawyer advised that it was the best we could hope for without a prolonged court battle. Speaking of Alex, there's been quite a shakeup at Donna's workplace. Remember Karen, Alex's wife? Well, she didn't just sit back after learning about his pattern of affairs. She gathered evidence from several of Alex's past victims and took it to the company's HR department. It turns out that Alex had been using company resources to pursue these affairs, including expense accounts for client dinners that were actually dates. Long story short, Alex was fired for multiple violations of the company's ethics policy. The day it happened, Donna called me in tears, saying she didn't know what to do. Part of me wanted to be sympathetic, after all, this was the mother of my children. But a bigger part of me felt a sense of vindication. Actions have consequences, and it was about time they both faced them. You'd think this would be a wake-up call for Donna, but it wasn't. Instead, she quit her job in solidarity with Alex. She told me they're planning to start their own marketing consultancy together. I'm worried about how this will affect her ability to provide for the kids during her custody time, but my lawyer says we'll cross that bridge if and when it becomes an issue. The kids are slowly adjusting to our new normal. Max's behavior has improved, thanks in large part to the child psychologist we've been seeing. He's started opening up more about his feelings, and we've had some good talks about the divorce. He still has moments of anger, but he's learning healthier ways to express it. Debbie still has moments where she gets upset about Mommy and Daddy not living together, but she's opening up more in her play therapy sessions. Dr. Martinez says she's making good progress. Last week, Debbie drew a picture of our family, with 2 houses side by side. It was a small thing, but it gave me hope that she's starting to accept our new situation. One unexpected bright spot in all of this has been my relationship with Karen. What started as 2 people bonding over shared trauma has grown into a close friendship. We've been a great support system for each other, especially when dealing with the kids. She has a daughter a year older than Max. To be clear, it's not romantic, we're both still healing, but it's nice to have someone who truly understands what I'm going through. On the home front, I've finally finished redecorating the house. It was therapeutic to remove the last traces of Donna and make the space truly mine. The kids helped pick out new bedding and decorations for their rooms, which I think helped them feel more at home in our new arrangement. Max chose a space theme for his room, while Debbie went for a unicorn and rainbow motif. Work continues to be a positive aspect of my life. I recently got a promotion to senior editor, which couldn't have come at a better time given the financial strain of the divorce. My flexible schedule has allowed me to be there for the kids' school events and activities, something I'm incredibly grateful for. There have been some bumps along the way, of course. Donna tried to introduce Alex to the kids as her special friend during one of her custody weekends. Max was upset and called me in tears. I had to have a difficult conversation with Donna about appropriate boundaries and the importance of giving the kids time to adjust before introducing new partners. Looking ahead, I'm cautiously optimistic. The kids seem to be settling into our new routine, and I'm slowly learning how to balance single parenthood with work and self-care. I've even started thinking about dating again, though I'm in no rush. Thank you all again for your support throughout this journey. Your advice and encouragement have been invaluable. I'll post another update if there are any significant changes. Update 3. Hey everyone, it's been about 6 months since my last update, and I wanted to share some final thoughts on this chapter of my life. The biggest news is that Donna and Alex's relationship imploded spectacularly. Their marketing consultancy never got off the ground, and the financial strain took a toll on their relationship. Donna called me about 2 months ago, crying and asking if she could move back in for the kids' sake. I politely but firmly refused. It was a difficult conversation, but I knew it was the right decision for my own mental health and for the stability of our children. After that call, I spent a lot of time reflecting on our marriage and everything that had happened. It was a bittersweet process, remembering the good times we had shared while also acknowledging the pain of the past year. I realized that while I no longer harbored anger towards Donna, I had no desire to rebuild our relationship. We've both changed too much. As for the kids, they're doing much better. Max has joined a soccer team and is thriving. His grades have improved, and he seems happier overall. Last week, he scored his first goal in a match, and the pride on his face when I cheered from the sidelines was unforgettable. It reminded me of how resilient children can be. Debbie has made new friends in her art class and loves showing off her paintings during my custody time. She's particularly fond of watercolors and has covered our fridge with her colorful creations. Her teacher mentioned that Debbie's been expressing herself more through her art, which seems to be helping her process her emotions about the divorce. Co-parenting with Donna has its challenges, but we're making it work. We use a co-parenting app to communicate about the kids' schedules and needs, which helps minimize direct contact and potential conflicts. It's not perfect, but it's a vast improvement from where we were 6 months ago. We've managed to attend a few of the kids' events together without any drama, which I consider a small victory. On a personal note, I've started dating again. Nothing serious yet, but it feels good to put myself out there. Karen introduced me to a friend of hers, Claire, 36F, and we've been on a few dates. She's a pediatric nurse and a single mom to a 9-year-old boy. It's early days, but I'm enjoying the process of getting to know someone new. We bonded over our shared experiences as single parents and our love for obscure indie bands. Work continues to go well. I've settled into my new role as senior editor and even mentored a new employee, which has been rewarding. Last month, I oversaw the publication of a book that went on to become a bestseller. It was a proud moment for me professionally, and it felt good to share that success with my kids. Looking back on this whole experience, I can say that while it was incredibly painful, I've come out stronger. I've learned a lot about myself, about resilience, and about what really matters in life. I've discovered strengths I didn't know I had and built a support network that has been invaluable. To anyone going through a similar situation, hang in there. It does get better. Focus on yourself and your kids, surround yourself with supportive people, and don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. There were days when I thought I couldn't make it through, but here I am, not just surviving but thriving. This will be my final update. Thank you all for being part of this journey with me. Your support and advice have been invaluable, and I'm grateful for this community. While I'm closing this chapter, I'm excited about the new one that's beginning. Life has a way of surprising you, and I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next.